Hey, this is Mike with East Coast Lumen Outpost, and I got a new video today for you guys, and I'm gonna showcase some recent pickups, some lights I really like, and the main point of this video is to go over this guy. This is the JETBEAM M30, and I got this light recently, and I'm so impressed with everything about this light. So we'll save this one to the end, and I'm gonna go through these other ones just real quick, one by one, talk a little bit about them, and then we'll crack this one open. So the first little guy that I got is from AliExpress, and I get a lot of lights from AliExpress. I got this JETBEAM from AliExpress, and I get a lot of my Nightcore flashlights from AliExpress, and the reason is because the prices on that website really can't be beat. And typically with the flashlights, depending on the seller that you get it from, typically you'll get them within 7 to 12 days if you're in the United States. And that's pretty good considering ordering something from AliExpress. A lot of times stuff from that website will take, weeks and weeks. But if you find a seller that has faster shipping, you could usually get your items within, it's 7 to 12 days typically. And that was the case with these lights that I got recently from AliExpress, the ones I'm going to talk about today. So the first one is this little guy right here. There are a lot of little flashlights like this that are hitting the market. Lots of little box style double LED flashlights. And this one in particular just kind of struck a chord with me. I liked how it looked. It was very inexpensive. I think this was $5. I like the industrial, clamped together design of it. And then when I got it in, when you get a light like this, you never know what it's going to be like in person. But when I got it in, it actually exceeded my expectations. So to give you a rundown of how this light works, you got two different buttons for two different modes. This is like the first mode. You get your single LED, and this first mode's if you're going to use these top LEDs. So you turn it on. So for this one, you hold the button down for a couple seconds and it will turn on. And then one click will kind of go through the different settings. So that was like a medium. This is a lower setting. This is your turbo mode. And it claims 1,000 lumens out of these. I don't know if it's right on 1,000 lumens. It's probably not. But I could tell you, for a tiny little light like this, it's damn bright. So the other modes that it has are pretty cool as well. So you hold this other button down and you will get your real bright floodlight. Click it again, you get red light. You get your red and blues. And then back to your floodlight. So you got flood mode, high and low, red, and then red and blues. And then hold this button down, turn everything off. Really nice package. You got a magnet. It does come with a lanyard if you want it. And then this one is USB-C rechargeable. So that's the first one on the docket. If you are an AliExpress shopper, even if you're not, for the price of this light, I would just get one. Get a couple of them and give them to your friends. Really cool flashlight right here. Really cool price. and a sturdy pocket clip to boot. The next one up I got from AliExpress. So my favorite flashlight that I've ever owned, my favorite in my collection, is this 4.7's bolt. This was a collab that 4.7's had with a company called Fellholter. Now Fellholter makes bolt action pens, and there was another company, and I forget the name, that's their little picture. But 4.7's, if you don't know, was a flashlight company back in the day, very innovative. They got bought out by, the website is called darksucks.com. Alpha flashlights. They got bought out by Alpha. And they just don't do anything super innovative anymore. But one of the last things they had was this 4.7's bolt flashlight. And when I bought this, I used it at work. I work on cars all day, and this was my work light. I liked that it wouldn't turn on in my pocket. I liked that it had pretty good battery life, and I just thought that it was a nice, cool looking flashlight. It had a sturdy clip. The bolt action's really fun, and so I used this one for probably like a year, and it wound up just not turning on. The switch got, real touchy, and it didn't turn on. So there's a company called Sky Lumen, and the guy that works there really has dedicated his company to flashlights and flashlight technology. A lot of the lights that he sells are stock lights that he will upgrade with custom firmware, custom LED bulbs. So I reached out to him and I said, hey, my 4.7's bolt light stopped working. It's my favorite flashlight. I have an unlimited budget. Can I send this to you and have it fixed and possibly upgraded? And the whole process with him, he was so nice and so cool about everything. He upgraded it to a SST40 LED. Original, it had a XMLU2 LED. So he upgraded the LED to a more current version, and he put his custom firmware in here. So this is fully programmable now, and it works. The other thing that he did is this originally took two CR2 flashlight, or CR2 batteries rather. A CR2 battery is like half the size of a AA, and it sucked because they're weird batteries, and you had to find a weird charger if you wanted to use rechargeable ones. But typically those CR2 batteries are like one and done, like a CR123. When they die, you throw them out and you have to buy new ones. But he made it so it would run off of a single 14500 cell, which is awesome. So I have a little rechargeable 14500 in here now. And this is my favorite flashlight in my collection. So I was scrolling AliExpress and I saw this little guy pop up recently, and I couldn't help myself. I'm always looking for used ones of these, like on eBay, and they never come up. And if they do, they're expensive. So scrolling AliExpress, I see this guy, and it is almost identical. You can tell that whoever designed and made this light definitely took all of the inspiration from this 4.7's bolt. Now, the differences between these are, this one, as you can see, is a little shorter, and the fit and finish on this light, while it is a lot better than I thought it would be, it doesn't have the same amount of polish and refinement that this one did. Now, to put that in perspective, this light, when it came out, probably like 8 years ago, maybe even 10 years ago, this was, I believe it was $120. And then with all the upgrades I put into it, I spent about $120 doing the upgrades. So I have about $240 invested in this light. Now, to put that in perspective, this light was $20. You could get it for $18.99 with free 12-day shipping on AliExpress right now. The clip isn't as smooth. All the edges aren't as smooth. It doesn't have the same finish. This is a more textured finish versus a more polished finish on this one. But with that all being said, this is a little badass light. It's still the bolt action. It claims it runs a SST40. I don't think that's the case, because this is a SST40 in here, and you could tell that that is not. But it's still bright. It still runs either a AA or a 14500. And it's a little badass light if you want a nice bolt action flashlight. The bolt action isn't as smooth as the flawless 4.7's bolt. You could hear it. So there's that versus the buttery smooth 4.7's bolt. But all of that taken into consideration, this was like such a cool find, such a nostalgia trip. Definitely worth the $20. I would suggest, if you're on AliExpress or if you're interested, pick one of these up. It's a really cool, unique flashlight to add to your collection. And if you like to tinker, I think this would be such an incredible host for an upgraded bulb or an upgraded firmware. This would be such a cool host to put, better guts into. So, and this was just, I think it was described as just a AA flashlight. It didn't really say much about it on the listing. So there are my cool AliExpress lights. Now we're going to go into some tool truck flashlights. And the first one I want to show, this is a brand new light from Snap-on. They just came out with it. And this is their pocket bendable floodlight. I have a bunch of these lights. They look very similar. You get the, the body of the light that holds the battery. And then you have the wand that unfolds. And you have your long LED strip. And it's like a nice floodlight. The cool thing about this one is how small it is. Most of these are big chunky boys. This one is a little guy. It will fit in a shirt pocket or fit in a pant pocket. It's a nice little, pen light or nice little pocket light. USB-C rechargeable, powerful magnet, and then you have all the different functions. So to unfold it, you get your real bright little spotlight on the front. And this thing is a nice, bright spotlight. You get your extremely, ridiculously bright floodlight for the light bar. And then you get your also ridiculously bright mini floodlight. So this thing has you really covered, and the amount of light that comes out of this for the size is super impressive. Now the long floodlight and the shorter floodlight are adjustable. You can hold the button down and change the brightness of them. the top little spotlight is just a single brightness. So I thought this was a really neat flashlight. This one is USB-C rechargeable. It has a little flap. You know, really cool light. The next one up. This thing is a monster. It is full, heavy metal construction, and this is the 8-hour light. It literally has a button called an 8-hour button. This thing will put out 1,000 lumens for 8 hours in a giant just flood beam. Now, if you wanted more, click it on, hold the other button to change the brightness level. I believe this goes up to 1,500 lumens, and that's gonna last 5 hours. So if you work on cars, you work in a shop, and you want like the ultimate this type of light, magnetic base, swivel, this is the best type of this light that I've ever experienced. And the fact that it literally has a 8-hour button, that's just so cool to me. So you click it on, and this thing will literally last 8 hours at 1,000 lumens. Super impressive, ridiculously heavy duty. If you pick this thing up and hold it, you're gonna buy it. That's what happened to me. It's so heavy. The construction is so overkill heavy duty. The magnet is so strong. This thing is a beast. If you work on cars, if you got a snap-on truck, just take a look at one of these and see what you think. And then the last tool truck light that I'm going to show, this is also one that you can get from like a Home Depot, or you can get online. This is the Milwaukee Red Lithium USB 2000 lumen. And this one, I just liked the way that it felt. I liked the way that it was an easy operation. And it's USB-C rechargeable, replaceable battery. It has a little cover that covers the USB port. Nice sturdy pocket clip. This thing is real heavy also. A lot of times with flashlights, like the enthusiast or the collector will go for the more typical flashlight brands. Your JETBEAMs or your Nightcores or your Olights, your Woobins. You don't really think of Milwaukee. I don't think I own any other Milwaukee flashlights, but I have a ton of Milwaukee tools, and I wanted to try it out, so I got this off of my Matco tool truck. He special ordered it for me, and I've been really happy with it. It's a really sturdy, powerful work light, definitely built for commercial or industrial use. You got your 3 main settings: high, medium, and low, and then a double click gives you the 2000 lumen turbo mode, and it's a really nice flood beam. Zero hotspot, just pure floodlight. And then the other cool thing about this light is the adjustable focus. So you could pull this out and focus that beam in a much tighter circle. One drawback to this, it doesn't take a typical 18650 or 21700 cell. It takes Milwaukee's proprietary Red Lithium batteries. Now, it's nice that they're replaceable. You could put a new battery in it, but I would have liked to see this same flashlight, but that takes a more standard 18650 or 21700 battery. The last one I want to talk about before we get to the JETBEAM, I don't know if you guys have even noticed it, but it's this thing right here. This thing, I saw it on Amazon and I had to get it. They say it's a camping lantern, and you can see it has that really tall telescopic post that extends out, and then a really bright light head on the top. Let me shut this off. And then the other thing is, you can drop this all the way down. And it turns it into like a cool diffused desk lamp. And then it all folds up real nice and neat. Shut it off just like that. 3 different settings. 1, 2, 3. And then if you hold down the button, the color temperature changes. It goes from about 2000 Kelvin up to 8000 Kelvin. So you get your real cool white, and then you get your real warm white. And this thing was just so cool and so unique, I had to get it. It also acts as a power bank. It has a USB-C only, so if you have a USB-C cable, you could use it as a power bank. I believe it's 10,000 milliamp hours. And it's just a really nice, flashlight for something like video work or camping. Let me turn it off so you can see. So it has the little rotating head right here, and you could position it however you want, or you could extend it all the way up, sit it down, and use this like I'm using it for a nice video light. So I thought that was really cool. Forgive me, I can't remember the name of the light. It's not a typical company, but I'm sure if you go on Amazon and you search for camping light or extendable camping light, you'll find it. All right, now let's crack into this JETBEAM. This light, this JETBEAM flashlight, when I saw it online, I saw it on neilsgadgets.com, and then I've also seen it on AliExpress. I got it from AliExpress because it was a much better price. But when I saw this light, I thought it was going to be a real small, like handheld light. I didn't think it was going to be big, especially because it said it took 2 18350 batteries, which is a weird configuration. So I bought it, and then when it showed up and I cracked this thing open, it really blew me away. I was so impressed with this light. So we got it cracked open, and then just look at this beast. You could see it's like the size of my hand right there. It's such just a badass design with the divots in it, the heatsink ribs, even the switch. So this does not have like a electronic switch. It's like a physical on-off switch, which is really cool. I think it makes it very robust. So let's open this up and I'll show you like the battery configuration. So they give you this cradle that takes two 18350 batteries, and included are two high drain rechargeable 18350s. So you charge them up, put it in this cradle, and then the whole thing slides in here, and then you got your physical switch. So this is not like an electronic switch. A lot of flashlights have like an electronic switch, kind of like this one. This switch is not making and breaking like a physical metal connection. It's just like an electronic switch. This switch, though, inside is making a physical metal connection to bridge the gap to turn the flashlight on. And it makes it just a lot more robust. Now, as impressive as the machining on this light is, and just the look of it, it is equally impressive as far as the brightness, the intensity of the light, and the throw. This thing is like stupid bright. It's quoted for 3,000 lumens, but it's 3,000 lumens at over 100,000 candela, or it's 120,000 candela, which is extremely intense. So think of the lumens like a hose. The lumens are the amount of water that's coming out of the hose. The candela is like the pressure coming out of the hose. So you can have, you know, a lot of lumens coming out of the flashlight, or you could have a lot of water coming out of the hose. But if you have a lot of candela, then you're going to have a real punchy, intense beam, just like a pressure washer. You would have a real punchy beam of water coming out. And this thing it's just incredibly, like, just stupid bright and stupid punchy. I think it's rated for about 700 yards or 700 meters. And just everything about this flashlight, it's the M30 Dagger by JETBEAM. Everything about this light really impressed me. It's one of my new favorite lights. I can't get over just the look and the feel of it. I can't get over how the switch feels, you know, how big it is, everything about it. I would highly recommend, if you're in the market for a real nice, punchy flashlight, something unique and something cool, check this out. Check out this JETBEAM. It's just such a badass light. All right, guys, that's going to be it for today. I really appreciate you watching. We are on the run for 1,000 subscribers, which is crazy. And let's take a look at the cabinet and see what else we might have coming up soon. I could tell you I've wanted to do a JETBEAM video for a while, going over all of the magnetic control ring lights. So I think that's going to be the next one. All of the lights that have the infinite variable switch that's controlled by like a magnetic control ring. Please, if you have anything else that you guys want to see, any questions or comments, I try to reply to every single one. Thank you so much, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.